Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Kelly,
I'm Martha.
I'm Rosalind.
I'm Geeta.
And I'm Caitlin.
and we decided to do our next step on elementary schools. So, in terms of occupational therapy practice settings, specifically elementary schools, there's a common theme of monetary issues with federal government funding. This is an issue at the state and federal level. At the state level, many elementary schools are grant funded, meaning that the town or district in which the school resides in funds for OT services. Under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, funding is provided by the federal government and is distributed to the states. Bringing awareness of the role and services that OT provides to parents, teachers, students, and the community will aid in advocating for OT as a next step. As mentioned before, awareness is a major issue. This could be because not all children are referred to OT, so some parents may not be familiar with the field. Therefore, a plan of action to take one step further is put into place to hopefully change this. First, we created a handout. This handout was designed to get attention of the school and community. It defines OT, describes statistics about funding for schools, and gives information for parents in hopes that they will advocate for these services. It includes helpful links and some images of what may happen in the school OT gym. We plan to distribute this handout in local Massachusetts schools and visit with teachers, administrators, and classrooms to spread the word. By visiting schools and educating staff and students about OT, this will encourage others to help advocate for the profession. By suggesting that the community writes to local congressmen, this will help voice opinions and expand the need for OT.
By speaking with the community about OT and the issues that are going on, more of the community will be aware and may be willing to help make vital changes. A third action would be to attend and speak at a local parent-teacher association, known as PTA. The handouts would be something the parents can take home. Social media such as Facebook and Twitter are also helpful and useful to voice opinions as well as meeting with the community in person by posting the handout on local social media town pages. The word will spread virtually as well. Multiple sources and pages can be shared into the group to get a better understanding of the profession and be kept up to date with what is currently going on. The feedback provided from parents will be sent to the Congress to encourage them to help advocate as well. These actions are important steps to take to advocate to the next level. In 2012, more than $2 billion was cut from federal education programs, including slashing more than $700 million from Title I and $600 million from the IDEA's special education programs due to sequestration, the federal automatic spending cuts. By completing this short survey, it will help collect information to explain the fallout of funding cuts on services distributed to schools, teachers, students, and their families. This will support advocating for growing federal investment in education with Congress. The survey is provided by the National Coalition of Personnel Shortages in Special Education and Related Services, which they will share your results for your own local and state advocacy.
Since the passing of IDEA, education for students with special needs has been transformed. Numerous youth served under IDEA have had the privilege of being educated in the general classroom of their neighborhood's public schools. Rates for high school graduation, college enrollment, job opportunities, and employment for youth with disabilities has significantly increased. Under the IDEA, the federal government has promised to fund 40% of the average cost of educating students with disabilities. IDEA was introduced and passed by Congress 40 years ago in efforts to accommodate and educate individuals with disabilities in the public school setting. In the past 4 decades, the federal government has failed to meet the 40% they promised to fund students and individuals with disabilities. They have only funded about 17%. Due to the issue of limited funding, schools have experienced issues with lack of OT staffing and insufficient funds for servicing students with OT materials and equipment. School districts have failed to serve and meet their students' needs. and to accommodate for this, there have been budget cuts, lack of OTs in schools, and lack of OT equipment to serve these students, which altogether result in delaying students' progress. There is a need for the federal government to fully fund IDEA, otherwise students will be deprived of the services to meet their needs and delay their overall progress.
So, one of the most effective ways of advocating for the profession of occupational therapy is by reaching out to the members of the Congress. So, it is important to give more information on how OTs can share their thoughts and views. Every year, OT professionals have the chance to voice their opinions on various issues within the field to different legislators. This event is known as Capitol Hill Day, and it's held in Washington, D.C. The American Occupational Therapy Association, or the AOTA, sets up meetings where OTs can meet with different legislators and advocate for their profession. It is important to note that there is a specific procedure for conducting an effective congressional meeting. There can be up to 4 OTs who can come together to meet with the legislator, and they are responsible for making proper introductions and clearly stating the overall issue and its importance to the members of the Congress. It's also important that OTs make the effort to highlight specific issues to ensure that members understand the issue. Communication is a key component when talking to a legislator, so it is important to ask the legislators what their point of view is as well. Overall, Capitol Hill Day is an event that many OTs should take more advantage of. Following simpler procedures can also help OTs to voice their point of views on the changes that should be placed in the OT profession.
After meeting with administrators, teachers, and parents about the importance of OT, it is hoped that these individuals understand the positive outcomes occupational therapy can have on a child's future. The feedback received from the community, either in person or from social media, can be used when meeting with a member of Congress to help advocate for the community. The overall goal for advocating is to allow every school to receive adequate funding to ensure that every child receives the services they need to succeed. Another outcome that we anticipate is that the community uses the resources given to advocate for their schools, such as the handout given at the PTA meetings. We hope that they call and write to Congress about what is important to them. The next outcome anticipated is that Congress increases funding to schools to support special education services for students with disabilities. And the last outcome is that the IDEA Funding Act is passed and is implemented. This will ensure that students are getting the services needed for the best overall progress.